That's the situation we've got at the start of this second half. Wigan Warriors 24, Hull FC 4. One-way traffic, more or less. Plenty of problems injury-wise for Hull. And a few problems for Wigan in that they didn't retain the football when they had it in possession. Shorter kick-off from Wigan than Jamie Foster put in for Hull in the first half. Foster's the man underneath the kick-off. Heremiah was the dummy half. Here is Andy Lynch. With people like Lynch and Manu out there, Steve-O, the black and whites won't be turning this in just yet.
No, they certainly won't. And we saw quite a few nice touches from the second row. Willie Manu, Andy Lynch, well, they'll just keep carting the ball forward all night, but they've got to really ask a little bit more questions. Maybe, you know, Ryan McGoldrick really wants to sort of get himself as first receiver, try to control things out there. It's not going to be easy, though.
Outside. Joe. The ball just dinked over the top, really, by Brett Seymour. Straight to Sam Tompkins. He gives it to Charnley. We go downstairs to Bill, and we'll get a half-time news.
Well, Eddie, the news from the Hull camp is not good. In fact, Peter Gentle emerged from the dressing room just a short time ago, grim-faced, shake of the head. He just cannot believe the luck he is having at the moment, because Jay Pitts has broken his collarbone, and that is the latest injury to add to this growing Hull injury list. Kurt Yeaman, ankle ligament problem by the sound of things. He now has a big pot on his left ankle, but Pitts is the latest of the wounded in the Hull camp.
Well, that is just unbelievable news when you consider the amount of players that Peter Gentle has not got at his disposal just now. And Jay Pitts, he was signed from Leeds in April to sort of paper over some of the cracks. And he now has a broken collarbone. That's probably him for the season, isn't it?
I'm afraid so. It's going from bad to worse in as much. And look, they've put in a lot of effort at the Hull side. You know, a little bit shaky in defence at the start, and not surprisingly, Wigan took full advantage of that.
And they're only now down to 15 men, of course.
Move, come on, hold.
In this match, with Yeaman and Pitts off with serious injuries. So the omens are not good.
No, neither was that. The lack of communication there. They were looking for the kicker, and I'm afraid Andy Lynch found it in his arms. Wasn't intended for him.
Manu, though, he takes on Dom Crosby, and Lima comes in, and Hansen comes in, and down he goes on the last tackle. What do they have here? Well, they have a kick from Seymour out wide to try and test young Thornley, but he claims that well, does Thornley, and then gets the ball away to Carmont. Well, we haven't seen much of Thornley in the first half. We've seen him in the opening 2 minutes of the second.
Amazing leap. Great stuff.
Lots of changes round from Hull FC. Danny Nicholas on the field. Looks like he's playing at hooker, which means that Heremiah has gone to stand-off. Ryan McGoldrick from stand-off has gone to left centre. And Willie Manu, who was left centre, has reverted back to left second row to replace Jay Pitts. So Peter Gentle's half-time has been about patching up, swapping round, and getting as many fit and healthy bodies, in inverted commas, back onto the field for Hull FC as he possibly can.
Tompkins, you've got to put him down if you can. He gets the ball away to Harrison Hansen. Hansen plows his way up the middle. He's got Tompkins for support. Oh, Tompkins puts it down. It's the best pass, to be fair, but
should have taken it, though.
Sam should have taken that.
Yeah, he should have. He's not happy. The twinkling toes of Sam Tompkins. He never gives in. That's what I like about the kid. It looks as though it's in a position where he can't get through. Should have had
nothing wrong with the pass.
No, he should have taken that, and he knows it. It was good pressure by Tom Briscoe.
Looking for his third hat-trick in 4 games there, Sam Tompkins. It was beckoning.
Aaron Heremiah, I thought, chased back from that far left position, just did enough to put a little bit of pressure on Harrison Hansen. Wasn't the worst pass in the world, but he got back. Harrison Hansen wasn't in a stable, upright position to pass the ball. He just made an extra bit of an effort, and it made a difference.
So Hull breathe a big sigh of relief. 20 points is still the difference, but it could have been much worse early in this second half.
Well, we mentioned the twinkle toes, don't we, of Sam Tompkins, and I think that Peter Gentle, the Hull coach, is fully aware now that a lot of his players, even at this early part of this second half is that they really are struggling.
That was Nicholas. This is Jeremiah. The crowd thought it was forward. The referee and touch judges thought otherwise. Danny Nicholas again. He was actually half-back in the home defeat against Wigan way back in April. Here's a high kick to test Tompkins, but not really much pressure on him as he caught the ball. But there was when Richard Whiting arrived.
And there's another change in that setup from Hull FC. Peter Gentle has swapped the half-backs over. That Jeremiah has gone to the left-hand side. That's where Brett Seymour played for all of the first half. He was playing split half-backs. Seymour on one side of the field, the left-hand side, with Ryan Goldrick on the other side of the field, and he's now swapped. So Wigan have got something else to think of, because Brett Seymour, he's played on Hull FC's right-hand side of the field.
5 minutes of this second half gone. And Crosby to his feet, played it to McIlorum, and the kick then down towards the far side.
Good chase. They've got the numbers there.
Matty Smith with the kick, and Lynham cannot bring the ball back. Here's Briscoe again, straight at Smith. Crosby in there as well, so too Lima.
3 or 4 of the whole players.
Martin Aspinwall, by the way, sorry Steve, I just want to mention him as he was at that play the ball. It's his 250th career appearance. That's a good ball away from Manu to Foster. Foster waiting for the support, it arrives. Jeremiah, though, is cleaned out by the tackle from McIlorum.
Tremendous work by the hooker. Already mentioned the fact that you never give in, and he certainly didn't.
Westerman gets it away to Whiting. The defence, though, comes in and cuts him down. That was young Thornley. Here's Westerman again, taking on Farrell, flicks the ball out. The ball is over the far side of the stadium, over the whitewash. Lynham couldn't take that in, all the pressure coming in from Liam Farrell.
They've upped the tempo in the defensive pattern as well, Wigan. Really do work overtime for each other. Westerman tried to get the ball away, but there was just no way he was going to get. Manu, the quality of the second row is quite superb, but no wonder that a lot of clubs were testing him out.
Manu to Foster. We might be saying that next year in St Helens colours.
You never know.
If Foster gets himself back into the Saints' first team.
Although, Eddie, I've mentioned it in the first half, and goodness me, Peter Gentle's got enough on his plate trying to work out what bodies he's going to get back on the field. But, you know, Jamie Foster doesn't, to me, just look that confident in his own ability to tear and speed down a touchline.
And yet he wasn't he? Once upon a time, he was the most confident youngster we had in the game.
Well, sometimes it takes years to build confidence and seconds to lose it, but you've got a world-class winger playing at fullback. Willie Manu breaks defences down on that left edge. Getting Willie Manu connecting with Tom Briscoe on that left edge for Hull might just give him a little bit more confidence and let Jamie Foster play at fullback.
The error count is mounting for Wigan, and I just had a look along the television gantry here, and the most unhappy man is Sean Wayne, because he is prowling like a lion who has had his tail tweaked. Look at the face on Sean Wayne. He's not impressed with what he's seeing out there.
Well, he's obviously sent out the message and said, look, go through the basics, get your defence, and don't bother about it's a nice kick. But this kid has read it well.
It was a nice kick, a chip over the top for Foster to chase. Tompkins read the script and came across. It was from the base of the scrum on the very first tackle, that. So there's a little bit of invention there for Hull.
Not a bad option, but it was read ever so well, wasn't it?
Farrell gets the ball away into centre field, where he finds Dom Crosby. Good tackling by Hull here. Harassing Wigan, forcing the errors, waiting for the unforced errors as well. Here comes Lima now.
I'm just going to make the point that it was Lima that tried to offload before that, and he's lost it.
There is the unforced error.
Knock on.
He's having a nightmare, Jeff Lima. It's about 3 errors from him, I think.
Do you feel as though we got to about 30 minutes in this match? I think the score was 18-0, and it just seemed that Wigan's concentration dropped off. They knew deep down they'd won the match, even though they'd have to score a few more points than their opponents might. And I just don't think then they could stay in it mentally anymore, and I don't blame any player for that. It is difficult. You come to a game to win the match, and when you're, I suppose, in the back of your mind, you know you've won it, errors do creep in and the concentration level drops.
I thought there was frustration there from Lehmann in his own performance, but I think it's frustration.
There was a hand in there.
And the touch judge didn't see the hand.
Yeah, and that's why he's furious, because he knows he's going to get a bit of a roasting from Sean Wayne.
I think they all might.
Well,
looking at the face of him, just up the way from us.
All he wants to do is to get his forwards going through the basic principles. Don't bother about offloading. Just make sure that you can get somewhere near to the halfway line. Hard graft.
And here come Hull again in the shape of Manu. Well, if he has, and he certainly has, oh, that's gone backwards. If he has brought an injury into this match, he really has acquitted himself well. You cannot point a finger at Willie Manu. McGoldrick gets the ball away to Westerman. Wide it goes to White in good hands. He is Lynham again. He knows where the whitewash at the other end is. Lynham.
Yeah, looks a handy kid, doesn't he? Impressed me the few opportunities he's had.
Lynch loses the ball, goes straight to Gareth Hock. This will be the zero tackle.
Yeah, just couldn't keep hold of it. Better defence though. That's smart play. He was hunting the penalty.
Here's O'Loughlin. And the pass found its way into the arms of Jack Hughes, and Jack Hughes is away. He has support with him as well. It is Charnley, and Charnley's going in for a hat-trick. Josh Charnley crawls his way to behind the sticks. Hat-trick for Josh Charnley. That's 30 in Super League now. The top try scorer in the business, Josh Charnley. Such pace, such power, and well, I think we could whisper it quietly to Warrington, Saints and the rest. The Warriors are 5 points clear in the race to Old Trafford.
Number 2, Josh Charnley.
Well, again, the error, the knock-on. Lynch couldn't keep control of it. Hock picked it up. This is good work, though, by Jack Hughes. He tried to milk the penalty. He said, play on, and watch this. In and out, throw the dummy, and he's away. Calm, cool, and collected. Offloaded at the right moment. Good positional play there by Josh Charnley. He's a pleasure to watch. He's got great balance. He's got the speed. But most of all, he has the determination. He knew exactly as soon as the centre Jack Hughes had made the break, he knew he was going to put himself on the inside position and score the try. Great stuff.
Well, he's about to try and add the extras to his 4th season hat-trick, and all of them have come on Sky Sports, and all of them on this ground. He adds the extra 2. Leeds, Hull KR, Widnes and now Hull have all felt the pace and power of Josh Charnley with hat-trick tries.
The most impressive thing for me, Eddie, in this try was when Sam Tompkins was tackled so quickly at the mark. He didn't make any ground, but how quickly he got up to play the ball. He was dominated in that tackle. He had no right to get up whilst the whole defender were retreating. But his strength to get up off the floor so quickly helped to create the time and space for his players. Now, I know they had to go almost the length of the field to score it, but a quick play of the ball from a clever player certainly helps.
Well, Josh Charnley now on 30 tries. He has got the record set in 2004 by Leslie Vinacolo in his sights. And strangely enough, the same year, 2004, Danny Maguire of Leeds scored 35 tries. They're the only 2 players to score 30 or more in a campaign prior to that moment. And Josh Charnley bang on course to make it a record-breaking year for him personally. And Wigan are in the mood here with Thornley, who's taking on Lynham for pace, and Lynham does well and tries to roll him out over the sideline. Doesn't do that though. O'Loughlin at dummy half.
Had a bit of a juggle there, O'Loughlin, but got it before it hit the ground.
Matty Smith's got blood coming from an eyebrow. He got the ball away though, just the same. To Liam Farrell. Oh, and the ball is pinched. That's great work. Fantastic work by Liam Watts.
Snatched the handbag, got away. They were linking up with Wigan. They realised they wanted to get it out wide on that left-hand side. It was good work by Liam Watts.
Oh, and a juggle from Whiting. He just took his eye off it. Carmon came in and and put him down. By the way, all those try figures I just gave you for Vainicolo, Maguire and Josh Charnley, they are, of course, in the weekly rounds only. That's when all the lines are drawn in the sand, and they don't actually start again, but you know what I mean. The awards are handed out after the weekly rounds. Here's Jeremiah for Hull. Looks for the runner, he finds him too in Briscoe. Briscoe gets the ball away back to Jeremiah, and Wigan having to muscle up in defence, which they do. Last tackle here for Hull. What have they got in the locker? Here is Seymour, floats the kick out wide, another tester for young Thornley. He comes up with the ball but falls over the line. Hull are going to get a repeat set.
Great lead yet again. They've applied the pressure on a couple of occasions in this second stanza. Look at that kick there by Brett Seymour, but what a great take.
He's tall, isn't he? Ian Thornley, back in rugby league from Sale Rugby Union. He was with the Wigan Academy originally. He's got a deal with Wigan until 2015. Another fresh-faced Wiganer who is part of the future of this club, with so many of the Australians and heading for home at the end of this campaign. They're going to rely on the Wigan youth, I think. 13, Paul Cullen picked out before this game, 13 through the academy system. Wigan playing in this match.
And Martin Aspinwall for Hull FC. Typical of Hull's luck or bad luck, shall we say, tonight. Brilliant play from Liam Watts, who ripped that ball and stole it one-on-one, tore up the field, made a fantastic break for the black and whites, and then had to limp off the field on the result of another injury on that tackle, and now replaced by Mark O'Mealy.
And Mark O'Mealy there just surrendering the ball underneath the Wigan post. It's a knock-on by Hull. It's going to be Wigan's head and feed.
Let's get set up.
Mark O'Mealy returned from 9 out against Salford last week. He was sin-bin for fighting. Wouldn't believe it, would you, looking at him either?
Nice and tight, Tom. Arms around, Chris.
Well, at 30 points to 4, you've got to at least try something different. That's what O'Mealy did. Just couldn't get it away quick enough.
Oh, Tompkins trying to weave his way through.
A bit of a facial there. Chris Green didn't like it, Sam.
24 minutes of this game remaining. Penalty here, and Yeaman's in the boot, of course, because he's got the ankle ligament problem. They also have Jay Pitts off the field with a broken collarbone. 30 points to 4 down. Been a shocker for the men from the KC Stadium. Oh, Gareth Hock took Brett Seymour. Seymour almost got low enough to get him, but Hock just bumped him out of the way. Here's McIlaurin. It's Tompkins. Good tackling by Foster.
Should have been a penalty. Foster is hanging on.
And Sam is having a discussion with him. They pat each other on the back. Farrell stands. He's forced back. Foster all over Farrell again. That was McIlaurin. Here is Matty Smith. Back he comes to Powell. Powell then to Carmont. Carmont just shrugs away from one. Tries to go in between Green and O'Mealy. Down he goes. Tackle number 4, 10 metres away from the line. McIlaurin in centre field. Here's Luaki. Good defence from Hull. They have to defend again here because this is the last. And it's Matty Smith. And Matty Smith scores for Wigan. Or does he? The referee will hand it upstairs for the first time tonight to video referee Ian Smith. He wants to check the grounding.
Does he get it down? That's a big thing. No, he's lost control there. Oh, has he got... Well, now then, does it... If it touches...
Briscoe's hand is on it.
Yeah, but he loses it and then gets back onto it. Now, they've got to make a decision that the first time he loses control, Matty Smith, if it hits Tom Briscoe, any part of his body, then this will be classified as a knock-on. Oh, it's difficult. Certainly lose control,
they give this as a try.
You think? Well,
Yes.
Ian Smith's is the word that matters.
No
There you
try.
go. No try. Something else for Sean Wayne to be a little upset about.
Well, this is where he loses it.
I wonder whether that was Briscoe whose hand actually reached it away. But anyway, that was going backwards if it was.
Yep.
Anyway, it's no try. It's academic now. No point arguing about it. No point Sean Wayne prowling the gantry here anymore. It's chalked off. Oops. Didn't agree.
No, and he's pretty close to me, Eddie. And I know you'll protect me.
Absolutely. Well, he sees me here. He won't have a go at you.
Good.
I think you like the way that Matty Smith went at the whole line. He didn't simply pass or kick, stepped off his foot. He's got great pace, great agility, and looked to take them on. It's what you want from your half-back in that field position.
Good work by Whiting there. Now then, what can they conjure up? They're trying to give him plenty of air.
Manu, McGoldrick, Foster dabs the kick in, looking for Manu again. Tompkins just waits, was patient enough to do that. And that was an important tap of the ankle and the grab of the leg by Manu.
Good work by the second row, Manu there. He never gave in. Just getting into his stride, wasn't he, Sam Tompkins? And that fella Manu realised it as well.
Biggest crowd in here tonight, by the way, to see a Wigan Hull fixture because of the work that they've done. The Wigan marketeers done well. 17,500 plus inside the ground tonight, which means, as I mentioned earlier in the season, it beats the figure that saw Wigan's 38-14 win in September 2006 here. But it also is the biggest crowd to watch this match between these two since the Challenge Cup final at Wembley in '85.
Probably worth pointing out as well, the first time that Wigan played Hull here at this stadium, there was about 8,000 people. They've more than double that. Great work for the people behind the scenes.
Indeed so. Matty Smith, high, hanging kick. He took that well, Lynham. He really did take that well. He's one for the future as well, isn't he? 20 years of age, Tom Lynham. Going on tonight about the Wigan youngsters. How about the likes of Tom Lynham? But, oh dear, don't tell me he's picked up an injury.
I think it may be just a bit of cramp, Eddie, but he did well to take that ball because he misjudged it. He may have lost it in the lights.
News from Hull, not more injuries, Bill, surely.
You're not going to believe it. The busiest man on the sidelines for Hull, one of them this evening, is the club doctor, Mark Higson. And his latest casualty is Liam Watts, who's just had his left knee heavily strapped. And he's pretty insistent that he's okay to carry on. And the conversation was basically, don't be stupid, don't do anything stupid. Really, it's not worth risking it. And that is the situation that Hull are in now, with the players dropping like flies. Watts was keen to go, or is keen to go back on. And I think they're probably just going to say, look, we just can't risk any more casualties.
Well, why would they, I suppose, at 30 points to 4? And in the circumstances, with, by the sound of things, 3 players not being allowed to return to the fray tonight, this is a pretty brave effort from the men in I was going to say black and white, but it's black and grey tonight, isn't it? They've got big things to come. Catalan at home next week, witness Bradford away. They end with Castleford at home. They would expect to win a couple of those if they can get troops back on the field. Of course, the most difficult one of those, Paul, is the trip to witness, isn't it? We all know that.
And we've all got to play with injuries and overcome the hurdles that gets thrown at us on a weekly basis.
Talking about players coming back onto the field here, as we see this, was it a potential high tackle? That's what Brett Seymour thought. Wigan have got some players who are going to come back as well, Eddie, which is ominous for the opponents. One of them, Stuart Fielden, you know, he's been out for 18 months. The last time he was playing regularly, he was a prop for England, don't forget, at the end of 2010. So there's some ammunition firepower to come back for the Cherry and Whites.
Yes, there is. I saw you talking to him in the car park.
Yeah, he's had a terrible look. I mean, he played over 400 first-team games. Well, within about 2 weeks, he'll probably play in the second team, Eddie, and would then be available for selection. He's had a knee and a pec or a chest injury that's kept him out for a long time, but he looks in great shape.
He does. He's almost a forgotten man, isn't he? Wide to Foster, who's going to get in the corner for Hull.
He reckons he's got it down. You don't have to tell him.
Go to the screen, rest. That's what he was saying, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Well, we haven't had Ian Smith in action all night. We've had him now in quick succession. Disallowed the Wigan try. What's he going to do with this? And he's going to disallow it.
Yeah. Good defense.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is. Just
he knows too. He had to look at the big screen with you and I, and he knows that the foot had gone in touch.
But
well, he asked him to go to the big screen, and he did.
To be fair to them, you know, they have not thrown the towel in.
No, it's a brave effort, to be fair.
It certainly is, because they must be running out of fuel ever so quickly. That's a good effort by Josh Charnley. He's scored there. Jamie Foster says, go
Video
upstairs.
ref.
Yeah, go upstairs.
Maybe James Charr was going to give the try, and maybe he shouldn't have asked him.
Well, I think
I doubt it.
In a situation like that, Eddie, you've got to go upstairs. I mean,
Absolutely.
Don't worry.
I'm only fooling.
Wait!
Attempting to be humorous.
22 years. You have not succeeded.
No, I realise that. 17 minutes of this match remaining.
Well, they know that
it's not a matter of who now, it's how many, isn't it?
And this is the reason why the Wigan players, they'll go through their routines. They know that they can put beautiful dummy.
Brilliantly done by Matty Smith. Support arrives from Matty Smith from Liam Farrell, and Farrell goes over underneath the sticks. As I say, it's not who's going to win, it's simply a question of the size of the margin.
Well, the point I was trying to make is that the players would realise now that their coach is irritated by a lot of the mistakes, but a smile etched on his face now, because the wonderful little dummy by Matty Smith, he's linked in well, he's slotted in exceptionally well as Matty Smith. He's got good power. This is good stuff. Calm, cool, collected. Farrell knew. Been one of the highlights is the support play by the Warriors. We've seen it from the wingers, and now we see it from one of the forwards. Believe you me, forwards, enjoy that. Scoring a try right underneath the posts. Surely this will be an easy extra 2 points.
Liam Farrell's had a pretty good season. He made his England debut against the Exiles in Huddersfield as a substitute. He got a try off the bench against Castleford last week. He's followed that up with one off the bench this week. 2 tries in the away win at Hull, 46-10 in 2010. 9 tries for the season now. Scoring all over the park, aren't they, Wigan? And Charnley to try and add the extras. And that question is answered. And it's 36 points to 4.
And the other question that has been answered as well, and that was the reason why you got a big grin on the face of Sean Wayne with the way that Matty Smith threw that dummy. Everyone here in this area, they were saying exactly one thing: how on earth are we going to replace the likes of Lulawai and Finch? Well, if you're a Wigan fan, you've just got the answer there.
20 points on the night for Josh Charnley, Paul, sorry.
Sorry, Ed. Sean Wayne, I'm sure, very happy that he's forward in the likes of Lowaki. His foot have actually gone forward. You know, they've made... Well, he's under him here for he's such a big shot.
And the referee is asking the video referee just to have a look at this and check contact on the head.
Check contact on the head here.
It's one of those, isn't it? It's a shoulder from Westerman. But
at least the
arm stayed low.
I think everyone has their eyes closed at about that point. Oh, no.
Dearie me.
Now, there are people, and there's a few of them on our team, who say if he chooses to run at Westerman, he takes what's coming. But
no, you can't hit a man in the head.
No, you can't. But that's what they say. If you choose to run at Westerman at that pace,
you can't tackle like that, though.
No. Well, it's a shoulder charge gone wrong, Phil.
You know what? We don't need
to. It should be banned. I've kept saying it. How long? How many times do we have to tell them?
It is. You get sent off and then you get suspended, mate. That's it. You're banned.
And what you've got there is Joe Westerman's got plenty of options to wrap an arm around, hit with the top of the shoulder, and not use that leading shoulder stroke forearm into the head of an opponent.
Well, Sean Wayne, the Wigan coach, is one of the toughest in the business, and he has seen that on the big screen. His eyebrows raised, as all of our eyebrows raised, and the most important thing at this moment is making sure that Epelhami Luwaki is okay.
It was a big hit.
I saw the contact straight away, but I wasn't certain.
And not surprising, the big fella went down.
I did. I haven't seen it. You listen to the audio.
It's an ugly part of our game.
You listen to it back.
Well, it's a penalty. The referee has confirmed that to Andy Lynch and Ryan McGoldrick. Whether it goes on report, whether it's a red card,
well,
we'll wait and see.
That's the least that they can do, is put it on the...
I think he's hurt himself.
Yes, well, it certainly would be stinging. We'll go to his touch judge.
We've got Westerman making contact with the head, but I've not seen the exact point of contact.
Well, neither of them on the field have seen the exact point of contact. He asked the video referee to have a look at it, and this is going to go on report and nothing more. But I think Joe might hear a bit about that.
I've seen that you made contact on the head. I wasn't quite certain where you made contact, what you made contact with. Yeah. All right. So the incident will go on report. Penalty goes to Wigan. Right.
On his elbow.
You can hear what the crowd think of it.
Well, I think
it didn't look good, did it?
No, and I think Joe Westerman perhaps will realise that he may have a little bit of a rest. That's a bad one.
Danny Nicholas in 28 is the bravest player in the side there to drop low in the face of a giant coming at him and attempt to make a legal tackle, and deserves some credit for that.
Luwaki leaves the field.
Did we see Tony Politulia sent from the field in a very similar circumstance against the Catalan Dragons not too long ago?
And Sam Moa as well for Hull against the London Broncos.
I just think there's enough opportunity there for the officials to have a very good look at that in the heat of the action and make a decision, which is not to simply put it on report.
Well, it might have fired up the Wigan Warriors, that, because here is Lee Mossop. Went backwards, he's lucky to get away with that. And it's Chris Tewson who had a little bit of good fortune going his way.
I was just about to say prior to that.
Hang on, Mossop supports with him.
Oh, should have passed.
Never saw him, never saw Matty Smith, never heard the call. Have Hull just delayed the inevitable? Maculorum, yes they have. Well, this could be a blowout. Now, 40 points to 4 is bad enough. At last, a smile on Sean's face. But 40 points to 4, 42-4 to come with the kick. This could be anything in the last quarter of an hour.
Yeah, they're very fatigued at the Hull Football Club. They know it take nothing away from Michael McIlorum, who's had a tremendous season. Really has come on. Not so sure that that wasn't a forward pass. It didn't matter. Mossop, yeah, Matty Smith on the inside. McIlorum says, get out of the way, this is mine. They're all over the shop. Look at that. Nice in and out. That had to be scored.
And with that try, Wigan top 40 points for the 4th consecutive time in the Stobart Super League. And the coach delighted now. And a smile from Justin as well.
Well, he knows that they've beaten every side in Super League except one. And that one is that we're going to want to see them play next weekend here. The game against Warrington. They're the only team who they've been unable to beat in the Super League.
Yes, and we shall see that on Saturday week. Charnley adds the extras. They've got some big games coming up, Wigan. They also play Saints in the weekly rounds before the end of the campaign, and they do face Warrington a week tomorrow, Saturday week, and that's at the Halliwell Jones. There it is, and it's a 4:30 start on Sky Sports 2 HD on August the 11th. Warrington Saints on Monday, Warrington Wigan on Saturday. Can't get better than that, can we?
And I'll tell you what Sean Wayne will want in preparation for those games is his front row to go forward with more purpose in the middle of the field. I was just about to say before, Epelhami Luwaki was smashed as the ball been knocked on, or you know, it's just not quite worked for Wigan. on those types of carries tonight. It doesn't seem to matter who's been in the front row, who's been on the big carries. The ball hasn't been protected, and Wigan have found themselves giving away far too much cheap ball.
And technically a much better hit that by Westerman.
Yeah, it certainly was, but it does surprise me. We saw Lee Moss up there carrying the ball and allowing the defender to go attack the ball carrying arm.
Well, they can score for fun. Now then, can they defend when it gets serious? They have so far. They've only conceded one try. And that's a drive-in by Aspinwall. Back here, of course, at Wigan, where it all began for him. Nicholas at dummy half. Gives it then to Seymour. Seymour finds Briscoe. He's had
a fine game as well, Tom Briscoe. Certainly can't portion any of the blame in regards to picking up losers' money. No. He's worked very, very hard, this fella. He's had to.
I think they all have, to be fair to them. I really do, in the circumstances they find themselves. Here's Manu. Picked it up on the half volley somehow. Gets the ball away to McGoldrick. McGoldrick comes back inside, then gives it to Jeremiah. And Wigan defend their line as if the grand final itself depends on it.
That was good work by Jack Hughes. And also Charnley came to assistance.
Foster fires the pass.
Oh, he went backwards.
Went without it, went backwards.
Still play on.
It is. And McGoldrick, following up his own kick, will track Jack Hughes in goal.
He tried his damnedest just to reach out, but he just planted the ball down in the in-goal area.
There was a player in front that went backwards. There's a player in front. Well, there's three players in front of McGoldrick here. They couldn't chase it. McGoldrick can. He puts them all onside. And he traps him in goal.
Go out the back if you're injured.
Good work from McGoldrick.
If you need treatment, go out the back, mate.
Yeah, they've worked hard, but...
10 to go. Let's go down to Bill.
Eddie Apalahami Lawaki has emerged from the Wigan dressing room after a bit of a treatment. All smiles, so I don't think he's any the worse for that hit from Joe Westerman. We'll hear more about that. I suspect we might also hear about an incident that seems to involve Sam Moa in the Hull dugout. Something was said by somebody in the crowd. Sam Moa took exception to it. Stewards got involved. And in fact, Jordan Turner had to escort Sam Moa from the dugout and I think back to the dressing room just to diffuse the situation because he wasn't happy with whatever it was that was said by the crowd, and the stewards still seem to be trying to settle that one down.
Well, that's a shame. Let's hope that doesn't mar the evening altogether. Aspinwall wants a quick play of the ball, gets it to Nicholas. He gets away from McIlorum, pops the ball up to Whiting. Whiting gives it then to Seymour, and Seymour's over for a consolation for Hull FC. Well, good work from McGoldrick to force the extra set of 6. And this never-say-die attitude of Hull FC and Brett Seymour over next to the posts to give the scoreline just a touch of respectability.
And a fine try as well. Good work by Whiting. And great support play there by the halfback, Brett Seymour. They've struggled, but they put that effort in. Nice back on the inside. And the offload from Whiting was outstanding. As we said midway through this second half, they have not thrown the towel in. They really have tried hard. Well played.
Yeah, Peter Gentile cannot fault the effort of his team. Remember, they've got 3 sitting on the bench who will not play any further part tonight as Foster adds the extras. So he's only still missed 1 goal now in his whole career. 42-10.
Good build-up, got themselves into a good position, something that they have had many chances in this second half. This is the incident where Jack Hughes, see the ball is grounded, or was it?
It's grounded on the line.
Yep.
Time off.
So that's a dropout.
Dropout, good work from McGoldrick. They beat Hull KR a week last Monday, of course, the Black and Whites. It was the last away game that, and it halted a run of 4 consecutive away defeats. And they won at the weekend at home, and they've come here tonight and been well beaten, but in the circumstances, they've not been disgraced.
No, they haven't. I kind of think that Sean Wayne is, he can coach prop forward play as good as any coach in Super League, because he was a very, very good prop forward within his own right. I'm sure Sean will be looking at the errors made by his big props tonight. You've got to be impressed, though, with the way that Sam Powell and Matty Smith have almost slotted seamlessly into that Wigan system. Even though Wigan haven't been going very well at the ruck on the go forward, when they have done, Powell at the first receiver, Matty Smith at the second, Sam Tompkins waiting with menace as the third receiver, the +3. When Wigan can get that shape, they still look an awesome force, as we see now.
Yes, here they come with Tompkins, pops it up. Through the gap goes Powell, gets the ball back, and there's a possibility of a try here, but Jeremiah's done brilliantly.
Briscoe's gone underneath as well. Definitely held up.
Tremendous defence. And Mr. Charnley was looking for number 4.
Jeremiah got right underneath there, and
good work.
It certainly was. Briscoe.
42-10 down. That shows a bit of character. Smith, Powell. Oh, it's opened up for Powell. He's going to get a try in his debut. Sam Powell, delight on the face of coach Sean Wayne, who said he was excited about seeing this young man. Excited about seeing him in Super League, captain of the under-20s academy side that won last year's junior grand final. Sam Powell, we'll see more of him in 2013. He's earmarked to fill the boots of Thomas Mulawai, Brett Finch and company, and well, it just opened up for him, and what a lovely way to complete his Super League debut.
Well, they got back in numbers, didn't they? Jeremiah, Briscoe, they did ever so well to stop Charlie from getting the 4th try. But this is a nice bit of class. The show and go and the step, and he will remember that. He'll never forget that moment. A debut in the cherry and white, the famous cherry and white jumper. And you've got to pay a lot of tribute to this youngster, because he's been quite happy just to work alongside Matty Smith, not try to do too much. And yet, late in the game, he had the opportunity, he showed it, took his chance, great try.
Charnley adds 2 more points, 48 points to 10.
You know, there are only 2 players in the Wigan side who've made more tackles than Sam Powell today. Hull have tried to make him busy and drain his energy, but he's made the tackles when he's been asked to do, and he's certainly then taken that opportunity particularly well. And you've got to remember, he's 19 years of age. When we think of Tommy Luluai and Brett Finch, I think Finch is 30, Luluai late 20s. If you look back at their performances at 19 years of age, I think if compared like for like, you'd have to say Sam Powell's done really, really well here tonight.
And he certainly... Well, that was a shoulder charge the other way. That was shoulder to shoulder.
Chris Green felt that.
He stood his ground, and Lima just uprooted him. But you have to credit Sean Wayne for the fact that he gives so many young players their chance.
And showed great flexibility in that shape and structure then, Eddie. For most of the night, Wigan have been playing from left to right, with Powell being the first receiver hitting Matty Smith. When the ball's gone from right to left, Matty Smith went to first receiver and hit Sam Powell. They didn't look like they needed any kind of change in that structure. A little show and go, and there he was right through the line.
A kick from Matty Smith into the wide open spaces. Briscoe deals with it, and Wigan are caught offside. They were ahead of the kicker, says James Child.
Yeah, he was screaming.
Got the call from the from the touch judge.
He was screaming at it, and you know, Matty Smith just checked, because he went downfield. If he goes past his own players, he puts him onside, and that's what he was trying to impress to the official. And you know, I think he does. He puts every single player onside. That is a bad call from the touch judge.
Just been reminded about Matty Smith, who put that kick in. He was recalled from a loan spell, wasn't he, at Salford, and he played in the grand final for St Helens. I wonder whether Matty Smith will make the trip back to Old Trafford this year.
And again, he's 25 years of age before Wigan have bought him here now as a long-term halfback. Halfbacks take longer to develop. It takes them it's a longer process to learn how to control and dictate a game, which they have to do.
And it's one of the most difficult numbers to wear in the Super League, isn't it? The 7, as he will be next year, I'm sure. Matty Smith, the 7 of Wigan.
He's got the quality there, hasn't he? It's been proven, and he will gain A lot more experience in the cherry and white next season, of course.
Seymour goes wide to Westerman, a dab down the line from Westerman. Thornley just waited for a moment and will be trapped in goal.
Did the right thing, didn't panic. Just made sure that he put his body between the onrushing attack and the ball. He knew he was going to be under pressure from Whiting. Did the right thing.
You know, the whole supporters, they are singing the loudest of the 17,700 odd in here tonight. They've been totally and completely outclassed and beaten, but they have seen what we have seen, and they've been encouraged by the fact that this whole team, with all the adversity that they've had, they haven't thrown the towel in. Well done to them.
Yeah, you're right, and they really have given value for money. It's not the easiest to come over on a Friday evening or a Friday afternoon. And can they finish with a flourish?
Well, they'll try. We're into 1.5 minutes from the final siren, but it's Hull who are coming forward with O'Mealy. O'Mealy is halted by Dom Crosby and Liam Mossop. A bit of a mistake. Oh, it went backwards off Nicholas, says the referee. I think he was charitable then. Nicholas gets another chance. Here's O'Mealy taking it in. That's a knock-on. If it wasn't before, it is now.
Just got to make a decision as James Child as to... yeah, I think you find that Lynch just got a fingertip to it. Should be head and feet to the home side. He's worked hard. All the whole side. They've had to. Simple as that. Bad injuries. It's 2 valuable points in the Super League table. Sean Wayne knows that. Looked a bit disturbed just before half-time. Quite a few of his forwards going out with simple errors. He knows he's got to iron those out.
He's just walked past us. He's smiling because of 48-10. There he is, on his way down, and they've got an appointment with him in Super League extra time, which will be along in a couple of minutes' time. Press the red buttons, and you join Brian, Terry, Barry, and the rest of us. Best analysis of this match, a look ahead to what's to come this weekend. And Tompkins has seen there's only a few seconds left on the big screen. That'll do. They'll settle for that. They're 5 points clear tonight. They've won by 48 points to 10. The damage was done in the first half, really. Tompkins, Hopp, Charnley with 2, and Tompkins again. 24-4 at half-time. Lynham with the try that was a consolation in the first half. Then we had the Charnley hat-trick, Farrell's try, McIlaurim's try, and young Sam Powell on his debut, his try to round off a perfect night for him. 9 tries in all. Seymour added yet more consolation. That's all it was for Hull FC. 8 minutes from time. It's 48 points to 10. And Wigan, as I say, they are 5 points clear of the field at the top of the Stobart Super League.